for you to be convinced beyond a reasonable doubt that a murder suspect is guilty. Fingerprints on the weapon, GPS data that shows the phone of the car at the scene, maybe like the suspect's DNA under the victim's fingernails. Or how about this? Video of the suspect actually committing the crime, right? Any combination of those, even just one of those, will often spell a conviction. But what if artificial intelligence could make all of those certainties a whole lot less certain? The truth is, artificial intelligence has made all of these crime-fighting tools laughably easy to fake. Take a look.
Trust the evidence, not your instincts. Judges have been saying that to juries for as long as there have been trials. But now, even the most rock-solid, time-tested pieces of evidence are being challenged by defense attorneys and jurors because of how easily they can be faked with the right technology. Technology that was dreamed of, written about, and debated decades ago and has finally arrived. Artificial intelligence. Here's how AI can make us question almost everything or anything in court or anywhere else. Example 1, audio and video. For prosecutors, this has been the holy grail. Jurors can see with their own eyes and hear with their own ears the defendant doing exactly what he or she is accused of doing. Case closed. But no more. With ChatGPT and other AI apps, anybody with a smartphone or a laptop can slap together a video or a sound file of anybody doing anything.
What if I were to tell you that I'm not even a human being? Would you believe me?
I wish I could keep telling you that our mission in life is connecting people, but it isn't. We just want to predict your future behaviors.
Whenever you come in here and interrupt me, you're breaking my concentration. You're distracting me.
We're entering an era in which our enemies can make it look like anyone is saying anything at any point in time, even if they would never say those things.
For that reason, and for the first time, defense attorneys are now demanding that the state produce other evidence to back up their alleged recordings. And that brings us to example 2, GPS. Eyes in the skies, actually satellites in geosynchronous orbit that track the movement of cars and phones and even people. It's a hugely important tool for law enforcement, but it too can now be faked. Several inexpensive apps exist that can override a phone's legitimate location data. One of them, called, and I'm not kidding here, Fake GPS Location, has been downloaded more than 10 million times. Rideshare drivers have created fake trips with it to pad their incomes. And yes, there is software that can spot these fabrications, but it's always playing catch-up with the faker apps. Meantime, prosecutors are ever more reliant on physical evidence to make their cases. Example 3, fingerprints and footprints. No one on earth has your fingerprints but you, which is why they've become the gold standard of prosecution evidence since the days of Jack the Ripper. But guess what? 3D printers can replicate fingerprints. Software is on the market now that can scan prints and print them out as 3D impressions, meaning a person could hypothetically leave someone else's fingerprints on a murder weapon or on a body. And not just fingerprints. 3D printers can also make copies of footwear, right down to the tread patterns worn into the soles of the shoes you want to copy. Which brings us to example 4, DNA. Researchers from Estonia say they've developed an AI system capable of synthesizing DNA, the very stuff that makes us unique in who we are. They claim their artificial genomes are indistinguishable from actual human DNA. And they say they can replicate anyone's genetic material if they have a sample to go on. And that means someone could basically plant some of your replicated DNA at a murder scene, even if you've never been anywhere near it. So what will all of this mean for murder trials a decade from now? If any evidence, video, fingerprints, or our very genes can be reasonably doubted, what's left?
Coming up, Nicholas Rossi may be a lot of things.